Alright, you're looking at the Andis Envy adjustable clipper, a tool that promises professional fades in a lightweight, cordless package. \n. But here's what surprised me after using it for a month on all hair types. This might be one of the most overhyped clippers on the market for home users. Therefore, if you're about to spend your hard-earned cash, you need to hear these problems first. For the best price, click the link in the description, and let's get right into it. The Andis Envy has a stellar reputation, a 4.2-star rating on Amazon, and a price tag that says serious business. You'd expect perfection, a barber-grade beast. But the reality, for many of you watching, is going to be a series of frustrating compromises. I call it the professional illusion. It looks the part, it's sold the part, but using it feels like you've been cast in a play without knowing your lines. \n therefore, let's start with the biggest selling point. The adjustable blade. It goes from a super close 0 to a 1, and yes, you can zero gap it. That sounds amazing for crisp lineups and skin fades. However, here's problem number 1. The adjustment lever is stiff. We're not talking a firm click, we're talking did I break it? Stiff. Trying to move it mid-fade, especially with product on your fingers, is an exercise in patience. You'll nudge it, it won't budge, you'll push harder, and then it jumps 2 settings. It's like the clipper has a mind of its own and its mind is set on chaos. \n now, the power. They boast a 5500 SPM rotary motor. On paper, that's strong. In practice, on anything thicker than fine, straight hair, it bogs down. I tested it on coarse, curly hair, and it would slow, snag, and sometimes just stop in a dense patch. You have to go painfully slow, which defeats the purpose of a fast motor. It's like having a sports car that can only drive in first gear during rush hour. The promise is there, but the delivery stutters. \n let's talk comfort, because they market the slim, ergonomic grip for small and medium hands. This is where we hit a major contradiction. The body asterisk is slim, but it's also incredibly slick. There's no rubberized grip, no texture. If your hands are even slightly damp from spray or sweat, this thing becomes a slippery bar of soap. You'll be white-knuckling it, which leads to hand fatigue faster than you'd think. Ergonomics isn't just about shape, it's about control. And the Envy loves to test your grip strength. \n here's a joke for you. Using the Andis Envy is like going on a date with a supermodel who only talks about themselves. It looks fantastic on the shelf, but the moment you try to engage, you realize there's no real connection and it's way too high maintenance. \n therefore, battery life. They claim 2 hours. Under ideal, light-use conditions, maybe, but with the motor struggling through thicker hair, that battery drains noticeably faster. I never got a full 2 hours of consistent runtime, and there's no battery indicator. No lights, no display. It just runs until it dies, often at the worst possible moment. It's the cordless clipper equivalent of a silent but deadly prank. 1 minute you're fading, the next you're frantically searching for the cord, which, by the way, is a separate attachment. Not built-in. \n which brings us to the attachments. You get 11 combs. That's a lot. But the quality feels cheap. They're thin plastic that clicks onto the blade, not the body, which can feel wobbly. Compare these to the solid, metal-edged guides from Wall, and it feels like a downgrade. They get the job done, but they don't inspire confidence. It's like buying a premium car and finding the cup holders are made of paper. \n now, let's dive into the real-world problems from actual users, the ones buried in those 4.2 stars. I scoured the reviews and a pattern emerges. First, overheating. Many reports of the blade getting hot very quickly, even with coolant spray, uncomfortable for the person in the chair. Second, durability questions. The power switch feels flimsy. Several reviews mention the lever breaking or the clipper just stopping working after a few months. That's a big red flag for an $85 tool. \n here's the twist. For a professional barber who uses it for 30 minutes at a time on client after client, knows how to handle its quirks, and has a maintenance routine, the Envy can be a precision tool. But you, at home, cutting your own hair or your family's once every few weeks, you're not going to build that intimate relationship. You're going to experience the frustrations without the nuanced skill to overcome them. It's a clipper that demands expertise but is marketed to everyone. \n therefore, let's compare it to the elephant in the room, the wall magic clip. Similar price, also cordless. The wall is louder, vibration is different, but it's a workhorse. The lever is smooth, the motor powers through, it has a battery gauge, and the build feels more rugged. The Envy feels like a precision scalpel that's too delicate, while the wall feels like a reliable utility knife. For home use, reliability often beats theoretical precision. \n let's lighten the mood with another joke. What do you call an Andis Envy that's run out of battery? A very expensive, oddly shaped paperweight. It still looks good on your counter, though, so you've got that going for you. \n cleaning and maintenance is another chore. The blade release is simple, but because the motor struggles and heats up, you'll be oiling and cleaning it more often than you might think. Neglect this and performance drops off a cliff. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it tool. It's a high-maintenance partner. \n so, after all this, is there anything good? Yes. The cut quality, when everything aligns, is excellent. The zero-gapped blade gives incredibly sharp lines. The weight is nice, and when it works, it feels smooth. But these highs are sandwiched between too many lows for the average user. It's the clipper equivalent of a talented athlete who's always injured. You see the flashes of brilliance, but you can't depend on them game after game. \n who is it actually for? I'd only recommend it to two people. First, a barber or stylist who wants a secondary, detail-oriented clipper for lineups and finishing touches. Second, a home user with very fine, straight hair who is meticulous, patient, and doesn't mind a learning curve. For everyone else, especially those with thick, curly, or coarse hair, you are likely going to regret this purchase. \n here's joke number 3. Buying the Andis Envy for home haircuts is like using a Formula One car to run errands. It's technically capable, but the grocery store parking lot is a terrifying experience, and you're using about 3% of its potential while dealing with 100% of its finicky problems. \n therefore, what's the resolution? What should you do? First, be brutally honest about your needs and skill level. If you want simplicity and reliability, look at the wall magic clip or even the corded Andis Master. If you're dead set on the Envy, buy from a reputable seller with a good return policy. Test it immediately. Feel that lever. Try it on the thickest hair you can find. See if the battery life meets your expectations. \n my final verdict. The Andis Envy adjustable clipper is a niche tool masquerading as a mainstream champion. It has significant design flaws. The stiff lever, slippery grip, lack of battery indicator, and tendency to bog down that make it a poor choice for most people at home. The 4.2-star rating is, in my opinion, inflated by professionals who use it in a specific context. For you, the viewer, it's a risk. \n before you go, one last joke. Why did the Andis Envy get a 4.2-star rating? Because the 3-star reviews were too busy trying to get the adjustment lever to work so they could write their feedback. \n so, I'll leave you with this. If you watched this video because you were about to buy the Andis Envy hoping for an easy, professional result, I hope I've given you the honest perspective you needed. The problems are real. But if, after all this, you still want to try it for yourself and get the best possible price, I've done the work for you. The link to check the current price on Amazon is in the description below. Click that link to see if it's the right gamble for you. Thanks for watching.